back here at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. Happy to be sitting across the table here with the CEO of Banyan Gold, Ms. Christie. Banyan Gold trades on the TSX Venture with the symbol BYN. This is a very important conversation because this Ormac property you just put out an updated resource on is getting up to that tier 1 potential if you have to put an ounce on. Now, tier 1 typically, people argue it has to be 5 million ounces. Terry, you're getting there. It's moving along that direction.
Yeah, we can start to see that in our headlights as we're moving this project forward really quickly. 4 million ounces at 0.6 for a heap leach project in the Yukon with exceptional infrastructure, look-alike for Victoria Gold, we think we can see that tier 1 asset status potentially by the fall.
Yes, it seemed like just a couple months ago you were just 1.5, but you had so much drilling planned and it was just strategic. And you're drilling year round, I believe.
Pretty much, yeah. January 26th to December 20th, so we take about a month off, give ourselves some time to repair equipment, everybody to have a bit of a break. But yeah, we're very aggressively drilling this off. We're already over 17,000 meters in this year, over 80 holes. Very strategically targeted, as we always do, right around where we're seeing that higher grade, east and west at power line, taking advantage of the frozen ground conditions to get to some more challenging holes. We even took some brave 300-meter step outs because spring was coming and we knew there was going to be a gap when we wouldn't be able to get to some of those areas, and we wanted to step out another 600 meters beyond where we were going to get to, and then 600 meters already drilled in the other direction to the east. So it's going to be an exciting year for us.
This is a really amazing story to me to have followed the last few years because you know the Yukon so well and you know those times of the year that's going to be optimal to get the drill rig in. It takes a special type of person who understands the Yukon to go in there and pull off what you're doing, which is very strategic, straightforward, and to be honest with you, it's a really easy story to follow in an industry where there's a lot of difficult stories to follow.
It's not complex, high grade, there's not big structure, and I think that actually works against us because our drill pattern seems too easy. What do you mean, 100 meter step outs in all directions, and people are a little bit skeptical of things. Yeah, this is a horizontal deposit. We see between 4 and 9 layers where we're getting these concentrated sheeted veins, and step outs work. You can see this mineralization in the core, and if we think it's getting weak in a direction, we wait for assays. If we don't, then we just keep on drilling. Lots of targets. The geophysics now makes sense. We can see that the host rock is this silicious rock, and we can see that over 16.5 kilometers. Is it mineralized? We don't know. This resource is roughly 1.2 kilometers at power line, and the bulk of the resource now is at power line, 2.9 million ounces there alone. We've already drilled 1.2 kilometers to the west and another 600 meters to the east. So, people should be able to do the math. If we drilled 35,000 meters, I actually think we're coming in under budget this year. So we're going to be able to probably get an extra 5,000 to 6,000 meters with our existing budget. And that's where the preparation comes in. I've been working in the Yukon all my life. I ran a very large-scale placer mine where you do operate in cold conditions, and we've spent the last 2 winter seasons getting ourselves set up to efficiently operate drilling in cold weather, planning our roads and trails, getting all the equipment, and we own a lot of that equipment ourselves. So it's a huge advantage for us, and it's paid off in spades. I think our all-in drill cost, despite inflation and the increased fuel price, is still under $240 per meter, which is, that's $5 to $6 per ounce that we're adding ounces for. So if we drilled 40,000 meters and we added 3.1 million ounces, how much are we going to add with another 30 to 35 this year with higher grade and better targeting? Yeah. Everything we're learning on this property is just helping us to target better. And we're going to take some big step outs. If you look at some of our most recent maps, you'll see we're testing somewhat to the south, both 4, 6, even 8 kilometers south, and then the same to the east where we can see similar high resistivity patterns, which could be a similar area. We don't know if they're mineralized, and quite frankly, it'll be great to find some areas that aren't mineralized, because as we move towards our PEA, we've got to start to find areas to put infrastructure, which hopefully aren't mineralized, and such problems to have. We can't find areas that don't have mineralization, but that will be a problem at some point. And we're planning ahead for our PEA, just like we always do. Now that we've got our resource, we're not resting on our laurels. We're going to our engineering team and figuring out what we need to optimize the economics for the PEA that we're going to do next year, and that allows us to do some of that drilling, understand what gets missed, because a pit-constrained resource is not necessarily the same as a mining pit that you'll get in your PEA, and that's a pretty important difference. So it's going to give us a lot of time to make sure we do that right as well.
Sure. So 4 million ounces in the inferred category here. So are there plans to upgrade some of that to indicated this year as you move towards the PEA as well?
We really want to find some higher grade starter pit areas, and if you remember, it's a really fast moving story. Remember, we made the power line discovery in spring of 2019, drilled it out in the fall. So am I convinced we found the best yet, the highest grade, all there is? Absolutely not. And as soon as if you move too quickly to measured and indicated, people think, well, that's it. At some point for the economics in the PEA, we're going to want to pick some starter pit areas and infill, get some of it to reserve status for a feasibility study and permitting. We're not quite ready, so I say stay tuned a little bit, give me a little bit more time to explore. Let's test some of those regional targets, make sure that we've really found the heart of this deposit. We found a lot of gold, but I think there's a lot more that this property is going to.
So what does drilling look like this summer? How many meters are you going to put into the ground?
So we'll have at least another 13,000 meters. Some of it's going to be a bit more space, so it'll take a bit more time. We were really able to drill very efficiently. All of our drills were in the same location, short moves. That lets you get a lot of meters very, very quickly. As soon as you start some of these bigger step outs that we're doing right now, it's spring freshet, so things are melting and it's all you don't want to be going on those roads that are further out into the mossy, muskeggy kind of area at this time. So we're going along the highway, which means you got to load the drill up on the truck or take it down the road, unload it. So there's a little bit more time between setups, which is perfect for this time of year, and it's an efficient use. And we're also drilling quite a few of those holes that we left specifically along the highway for when ground conditions weren't great, which are going to add ounces, and wait till we get to the summertime when things are a little bit drained. The roads will be hard again, which should be a matter of weeks. You already get things drying out. You clear the roads of the snow and you get drainage in, and then they dry out very, very quickly in the Yukon. So then we'll be able to get to some of those targets up on Oryx Hill, which we're really excited to go and drill.
Yeah, I guess my final question for you is really this area around Mayo. Obviously, you're there. Victoria Gold's there, has been mining for a few years now with great success. What other type of, specifically gold exploration, are there pockets in that area that haven't been tested yet that potentially could be?
Oh, absolutely. And we have our whole Nitro property off to the west, which we think looks just like our power line. I believe that this is a district, and we've seen it. There's lots of gold in the area between Attack and Snowline and Sitka Gold, which are a little bit further out. We have that huge advantage of infrastructure and being right beside Victoria Gold. But this really is a district. This was a very long-lived gold mineralizing system, and I think similar to Ontario, we've only just started to discover the gold that the Yukon truly has.
I will never forget my first trip to the Yukon a couple of years ago. We didn't go to your property, but we went around your property, right? And you were just an incredible tour guide because you were such a wealth of information for that area. I mean, you know every tree like the back of your hand, I'm pretty sure, and able to talk about different projects, historically who's done work on some of these properties. So I'm really happy for you and for the team. 4 million ounces is something you should be really, really proud of, and it's just the beginning, it seems like.
Yeah, I really have to give my thanks to my team, to James Tom out there in the field, and all the guys that worked so hard through the winter to deliver this. And we've got a lot more that, I view this as a stepping stone because, we've got to get this up to that tier 1 asset status, and really we've delivered on what we said we were going to do, and we plan to deliver on what we said we're going to do again.
Thanks, Tara. It's good to see you.
Yeah, great to see you. Thanks for your time.
It's Tara Christie from Banyan Gold, again trading on the TSX Venture with the symbol BYN.